Welcome back to another edition of the NYD 16th Man Show. And today, we've got another trade reaction. And this time it involves the Charlotte Hornets and the Utah Jazz. Where the Utah Jazz are trading Collin, Sexton and a 2030 second round pick to the Charlotte Hornets in exchange for Jusuf Nurkic. Starting off with the Hornets side of things. Well, the Hornets continue the momentum of having a pretty solid offseason. Starting with their draft, where they took Collin Knippel, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Liam McNeely, and Zion James. 4 players that have a chance to make some sort of impact and could, just bring some solid play for this team. Just a good move so far. Good moves in the draft, and then they make this move to acquire Collin Sexton, who, in my eyes, I thought would get traded to a more contender-esque team. But hey, Collin Sexton is an incredible scorer. He has that hustle kind of play to him. But he'll come in and be a great secondary ball handler to help relieve some pressure off of LaMelo, whether that's in the star lineup or even as a 6-man perhaps. We'll figure that out. But you do so by really only giving up, by just giving up Jusuf Nurkic, a player that they acquired at the trade deadline last season in the Nick Richards trade, I believe. So you didn't give up much, and you get back a guy that's a quality player in this league, a player that I believe should have a chance to be on a competitive team at the very minimum, and maybe with the East being a little more open next season, along with other teams like the Atlanta Hawks, who have had themselves an incredible offseason. Maybe the Hornets are another team that are trying to take advantage of this whatever window that's open right now for the East to maybe climb themselves, maybe force themselves into more of that competitive limelight, whether that's a play-in or something like that. Because the Hornets are looking solid. You got now LaMelo and Ben Miller. You've got Collin Knippel, who's a pretty safe pick this season. Pretty safe pick out of this draft. You bring in Collin Sexton, who's at worst, or who knows, at minimum is going to be a great 6-man. And a great guy to take some pressure off of LaMelo with the ball handling duties. It's also just a great hustler guy. He's a great hustler guy. And maybe see who else can come along for the ride, like Grant Williams, or like Trey Mann. Now the team's definitely not insane or anything, but the Hornets are definitely making some solid strides to improve, hopefully. Now for the Jazz, I think the move of Collin Sexton was made evident when they drafted Walter Clayton in the mid first round a couple days ago, as they both have very similar play styles of being bucket getters, same positions, and a position group that's already starting to get a little overlapped with Keontae George, Isaiah Collier, Jordan Clarkson, just to name a few. So it was evident, at least to me, that Collin Sexton's days as the Utah Jazz was over with. And in return, they get Jusuf Nurkic, a player that is far from the player he used to be, which was at least a quality center in this league, a quality starter with the Trailblazers back a few years back. At least now, he'll come in and just be a solid backup to Walker Kessler, And maybe he can somehow revive whatever's left of his career. I mean, it's not nothing crazy for the Jazz, but as they continue to bring in more young assets, and hopefully can start to, establish some more building blocks with bringing also Ace Bailey in the draft. Moving on from Collin Sexton can open up some more minutes for other guys as well. So, this trade, well, it's nothing groundbreaking or insane. Both teams walk out here with somewhat of improvements for different reasons. The Hornets snag a guy who realistically should be on a much more competitive team or contender in that sense. I personally believe they bring him in to give a boost to your offense and add some additional ball handling assistance to LaMelo that before this wasn't there. And he get there's no second round pick for the future, which never hurts, And the Jazz, well, they basically just open up more minutes for people. This is trade is basically telling me you open up more minutes for the young guys. In the guard room, and also just bringing a quality backup big man to back up Walker Kessler. So that's my reactions to this Collin Sexton Houston Nurkic trade. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I got much more videos in the works as the offseason progresses. But as of now, that's all I got. So peace out.